we're chasing shine bright deep inside you. When will you ever let it shine from within and cast all of your fears aside? You'll see the light until...
Hello and welcome back to Kingdom Reviews. I'm your host, Future Keybearer. Today we journey to the country of the Musketeers. So we start off with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy dealing with a Dream Eater. Huh, it's how most people think Donald works in combat.
Stand back, here goes nothing!
Hey, Goofy! That's the wrong way!
And that's how Goofy actually works in combat. While Mickey here can't handle this on his own, fortunately Sora arrives to help.
King Mickey, are you okay?
Huh? Have we met before?
What?
Nominee!
Wait, is this like what happened with Jiminy and Tron?
Jiminy, yes. Tron was a very different situation, though.
Where'd you get that key?
This? It's a key
I know. You came from another world, right?
Huh? Yeah.
My name's Mickey. I'm working on a problem. That's why I'm in this world, being a musketeer.
You know, out of all the technically side games that this series has had, I really need one that's just the life and times of King Mickey. But before Sora can think about it too much, more nightmares attack. It's here where we get this world's reality shift, Wonder Comic. In the 3DS version, it was essentially a bunch of touchscreen-based QuickTime events, but in the console version, 3 pages drop, and you have to pick one by flicking the left stick according to the arrow on the page you want. Each page has different bonus effects, though I personally always use Donald's when I can because it gives you money and drop points. Afterwards, Sora gets to be reintroduced to Donald and Goofy.
Hey, Donald!
What? Who are you?
Gorge, do I know you from somewhere?
No. Nice to meet you.
Wow, you can tell how much it saddens Sora to have 2 of his best friends not recognize him. Anyway, Sora offers to join the trio on their mission to protect Princess Minnie.
Great! Should we do the thing?
Goofy, no, they're children present!
All for one?
And one for all!
If I had a nickel for every first meeting of Sora, Donald, and Goofy that ends with that phrase, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's very weird that it happened twice. We then get a flashback of the trio being christened as Musketeers, and honestly, I only really bring it up because while capturing this footage, I noticed that they not only include the detail of the angle of Mickey's hat changing depending on where he's looking, but for the first time in the series, they actually remember to do the same for the ears. Anyway, as our heroes are escorting the princess, they get attacked by a freaking T-Rex! Good God, and I thought the 2011 Three Musketeers took insane over-the-top liberties.
Bad guy!
Must go faster, must go faster! After the others get knocked off, we get a bit where you have to prevent the carriage from taking too much damage while fighting this Dream Eater. Also, trying to defend against this charge attack is bullshit. Despite the victory, however, the Beagle Boys show up pretty out of nowhere and force Sora off the carriage as well.
Your Majesty... Mickey!
You know, this makes me realize that if Mickey has given Riku permission to just call him by his name, why not Sora?
What do you even listen, Kupo?
Anyway, our heroes follow the carriage to find the road to a mysterious tower. No, not that one. This time. Not that one either. Yet. No, apparently this is the Tower of Donkey Kong. Eventually we do make it up and have a neat enough boss fight against the Beagle Boys, giving me flashbacks to Lock, Shock, and Barrel. However, despite the thorough beating, the Beagles are still raring for more. Until... Okay, this is a stupid thing to get hung up on when cartoon logic is involved, but how did Goofy know that was going to work? At least in the movie, he did that once before. Later that evening, while I guess Goofy and Sora are on patrol, Goofy spots something and just takes off. Afterward, Donald comes running, having discovered off-screen that a Captain Pete is planning to kidnap the princess.
Well, lie or no lie, musketeers don't ever run from danger.
that it's time for me to get a new job.
Okay, I understand why they didn't do it, resource limitations, but the gag in the movie was funnier.
Musketeers don't run from danger, and as long as we wear these uniforms, neither do we.
You said it.
What am I up to? I'm up to plenty.
Oh,
Pete?
Sora, you literally just heard that the guy's name was Pete. This really should not be surprising to you. Anyway, Pete clobbers Mickey, and before Sora can do anything about it... Actually, you know what? Why not? The stories do have a bit of a connection this time, so screw it. Something I do find interesting in this dive sequence is that the comic pages around the edges depict the events happening in Sora's side. Yeah, Sora's dive does the same, but by that logic, you'd assume that this would show Riku's side. Without giving anything away, it's a nice story clue given via gameplay. Anyway, Riku lands at the Opera House. And notices Pete hanging around, thus goes to investigate. Upon reaching the main stage, Riku discovers that Pete has set up a trap for Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. He also discovers...
Minnie.
Huh. Well, I'm sure Mickey has mentioned her to him. I think this is the first time Riku has ever met Minnie. Anyway, she tells Riku that they need to retrieve a part for a machine so they can disable the trap. And of course, the Beagle Boys make off with said part. We then get a momentum-killing flashback showing Pete and the boys setting up this contraption. And looking at Pete for a bit makes me realize something. If this world takes place in these characters' past, how did Pete grow his leg back? So after bullshit placement in the Sleepy Gas, we need to run around backstage looking for the Beagle Boys. Meanwhile, Sora awakens to Donald and Goofy, who tell him that they need to save Mickey from Mont Saint Michel. After a surprisingly long trek to get there...
Donald? Goofy? You too, Sora?
Wrong order. No shot today. After a big motivational speech, our heroes make their way to the opera. Stop that. Anyway, while they run in to save the princess, Riku has acquired the gear, but before he can do anything with it... You know, one thing I will give the Dream Eaters over other monsters in this series, they got real personality. Unfortunately, this thing is incredibly annoying to chase around backstage. It really is the fact that you have these walls all over the place. Anyway, with that distraction out of the way, Riku gets to work on the device. Meanwhile, on Sora's side...
look out!
What? Impossible.
Riku saved us.
I don't know how Riku's actions had an effect on Sora's world, but...
It's just the logic of a dream and nothing more.
Fortunately, Sora's boss fight is a bit more fun. You gotta smack down the Beetle Boys yet again to launch them up at Pete, so you can take him on Mono e Boyo. Afterwards, Sora and company get officially made Royal Musketeers, and Riku just kinda feels good. Meanwhile, Axel, Lee, whatever, has a proposal for Yen Sid that the others aren't too keen on. But fearing what Xehanort may have planned, the sorcerer feels that it may be their only option. So that was Country of the Musketeers. Really damn good for Sora. His side got a lot of huge explorable areas ripped directly out of the movie. And story-wise, Sora actually got to fill the D'Artagnan role that was missing from the film. Not that the movie was really concerned about following the book in any way, but still. Riku, on the other hand, spent the entire world confined to the opera. That little ditty's starting to grow on me. While they did do their best to give Riku plenty to explore, it just wasn't as interesting and, quite frankly, was really short in comparison to Sora's side. Well, that's it for this episode. Tune in next time as we strike up the orchestra.